प्रखंड परसवाड़ा, जिला बालाघाट में पंडित श्री धीरेन्द्र शास्त्री बागेश्वर धाम सरकार द्वारा श्रीमद् भागवत कथा का आयोजन किया जाना प्रस्तावित है। आयोजित to direct the respondent not to organize the functions to be held on 23 and 24 March 2023 for promoting the Hinduism at the tribal areas which affect the tribal mythology.
ट्राइबल माइथोलॉजी कैसे इफेक्ट हो जाएगी
सर?
आप मेरा जो बिलीफ है
जी,
जो मेरा बिलीफ सिस्टम है
जी,
उसको आपके भाषण से कैसे परिवर्तित हो जाएगा?
माय लॉर्ड, ये हमारे मंत्री जी द्वारा बनवासी रामकथा के प्रवचन बागेश्वर धाम द्वारा कराए जाने की अनुमति के संबंध में दी गई भाषण तथा आदिवासी द्वारा विरोध प्रदर्शन की रिकॉर्डिंग एवं पेपर कटिंग की फोटो अपने मोबाइल 1 प्लस। My lord, district Balaghat is a declared tribal areas as per Schedule 5 of the Constitution of India, my lord. There is some restrictions, my lord, given in Article 19(5), wherein, my lord, in the tribal area for the interest of the tribals, my lord, some restrictions has been given, my lord. For that, my lord, a PESA Act has been framed by the President, my lord. In that, my lord, Section 4G, my lord.
PESA Act लीजिएगा।
4G, my lord.
सेक्शन
4G, my lord. 4D। प्रत्येक ग्राम सभा लोगों की परंपराओं और रूढ़ियों, उनकी संस्कृति, पहचान, समुदाय के संसाधनों और विवाद निपटाने के रूढ़िजन्य ढंग का संरक्षण और संरक्षण करने के लिए सक्षम होगी। प्रत्येक ग्राम सभा सामाजिक और आर्थिक विकास के लिए योजनाओं, कार्यक्रमों और परियोजनाओं का इसके पूर्व की ग्राम स्तर पर पंचायत द्वारा ऐसी योजनाओं, कार्यक्रम और परियोजनाओं को कार्यान्वयन के लिए हाथ में लिया जाए अनुमोदन करेगी। फिर चाहे माय लॉर्ड ग्राम स्तर पर प्रत्येक ग्राम पंचायत से अपेक्षा की जाएगी कि वह ग्राम सभा के खंड इंगा में निर्दिष्ट योजनाओं, कार्यक्रमों और परियोजनाओं के लिए उस पंचायत द्वारा निधियों के उपयोग का प्रमाणन अभिप्राप्त करेगी। एज पर दिस एक्ट माय लॉर्ड दी वॉट एवर दी माय लॉर्ड cultural or regional function should be organized, my lord, that has to be for taking permission from the gram sabha, my lord. Without taking the permission from the gram sabha, my lord.
पढ़िएगा ग्राम सभा की किस चीज के लिए परमिशन लेना पढ़िएगा।
Yes, my lord.
Probably we missed।
प्रत्येक
पढ़ रहे हैं
जी,
पढ़ रहे हैं
पहले घा पढ़ रहे हैं।
ग्राम सभा लोगों की परंपराओं,
यस my lord, यस my lord,
उनकी सांस्कृतिक पहचान, समुदाय के संसाधनों और विवाद निपटाने के रूढ़िजन्य ढंग का संरक्षण और परिरक्षण करने के लिए सक्षम होगी।
यस my lord,
दिस इज द ड्यूटी कास्ट ऑन द ग्राम पंचायत।
यस my
नाउ
lord,
प्लीज कम टू च।
यस my lord,
ग्राम स्तर पर प्रत्येक पंचायत से यह अपेक्षा की जाएगी कि वह ग्राम सभा से खंड ड में निर्दिष्ट योजनाओं, कार्यक्रमों और परियोजनाओं के लिए उन पंचायत द्वारा निधियों के उपयोग का प्रमाणन अभिप्राप्त करे।
यस my lord,
कहाँ है? तो tomorrow if I want to go there
यस my lord,
and hold a rally or a sabha, then where is the requirement of taking permission from the gram sabha?
my lord, as per रूढ़ी my lord, it is बिल्कुल सही, बिल्कुल सही my lord. This act enacted my lord on the basis of the Bhuria report, my lord. This enacted, my lord, on the basis of the Bhuria report, my lord.
Which report?
Bhuria report, my lord.
Bhuria report?
Dilip Singh Bhuria, my lord.
कहाँ है वो?
My lord, he has written this book, my lord, पेशा कानून, by the Dilip Singh Bhuria, my lord.
बात सुनिए वकील साहब, थोड़ा हम लोग।
सर वो 1300 पेज की है, वो मैं नहीं लाया।
वकील साहब उसकी जरूरत ही नहीं थी आपको। जो अधिनियम बनता है
जी,
वह किसी रिपोर्ट के ऊपर हो सकता है। जैसे ओबीसी का रिजर्वेशन लाएगा तो गोस्वामी कमेटी की रिपोर्ट।
यस माय लॉर्ड।
बट वो अधिनियम नहीं बन जाता है। अधिनियम जो होता है वो रिपोर्ट के ऊपर होता है।
यस माय लॉर्ड।
अधिनियम का प्रावधान पढ़िए। अब अधिनियम के प्रावधान से बताइए कि किसी भी ग्राम सभा में कोई भी आयोजन करने के लिए अनुमति लेना आवश्यक है। Will issue notice.
That is not the issue. That is not the complete issue.
Please come to prayer clause. Come to prayer clause. तू पढ़िएगा।
to direct the respondent not to organize the functions to be held on 23 and 24 March 2023 for promoting the Hinduism at the tribal areas which affect the tribal mythology.
ट्राइबल माइथोलॉजी कैसे अफेक्ट हो जाएगी?
सर
आप मेरा जो बिलीफ है,
जी,
जो मेरा बिलीफ सिस्टम है,
जी,
उसको आपके भाषण से कैसे परिवर्तित हो जाएगा?
माय लॉर्ड ये पेपर देख लें आप, ये एनेक्सर पेज 46,
हाँ, पेज 46,
पेज 46, मतलब दिस इज द ट्राइबल एरिया माय लॉर्ड, और वहां पे पेज 46 देखें सर,
पेज 46 बताइए।
सॉफ्ट हिंदू मानने जाने वाले जिले में यह आयोजन कितना होगा कारगर? इसमें जिले में परसवाड़ा के 23
पेपर में छपने से क्या हो जाता है? पेपर में
नहीं मैं ये नहीं बताना चाह रहा हूँ सर, मैं ये बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि वहां के सारे जो जितने ट्राइबल्स है, बिकॉज वो ट्राइबल एरिया घोषित है सर, उस ट्राइबल एरिया के सारे लोग उसका विरोध कर रहे हैं कि ये जो कार्यक्रम है उनके भावनाओं को, उनकी रीजनल व्यवस्थाओं को सबको चौपट करेगा। और ये देखें सर, ये पूरा सारे विरोध चल रहा है, और वहां पे इवन देन
विरोध हो रहा है तो ग्राम पंचायत को आना चाहिए था। ग्राम पंचायत भी तो ट्राइबल डोमिनेटेड ग्राम पंचायत
my lord,
they might be notified.
various representations has been filed by them my lord before ये these are the representations my lord.
Show us the representation. आपका पहला आर्गुमेंट तो नहीं बनता, ये 1996 के एक्ट में कहीं प्रतिबंध नहीं है, कहीं अनुमति लेने का प्रावधान नहीं है। अब चलिए
सर 19.5 देख लें सर, आर्टिकल 19.5।
हाँ, आर्टिकल 19.5, यस।
Nothing in subclause D and E of the said clause shall affect the operation of any existing law insofar as it imposes or prevents the state from making any law imposing reasonable restrictions on the exercise of any of the rights conferred by the said subclause either in the interest of general public or for the protection of the।
और ई पढ़िएगा क्या है? डी
जी
क्या है?
जी जी
freely throughout the territory of India.
Yes my lord.
To reside and settle in any part of the territory of India.
My lord, it's a long interpretations regarding C, D and E my lord. E is not restricted that my lord the one person is going to reside in some other territory. That is not the only interpretation my lord. The interpretation is my lord,
आएगा freedom of speech and expression, कैसे उसको कर
that is all 19.1 में दिया हुआ सर उसका
19.1
restriction,
में तो
19.2 sorry 19.2 इसमें
19
restriction दिया है।
हाँ, क्या
Nothing in subclause A of clause 1 shall affect the operation of any existing law or prevent the state from making any law insofar as such law imposing reasonable restrictions on the exercise of the right.
You have not understood the provision. Provision is that no offending material. If somebody
Yes.
goes there and starts speaking about the religious practices
My
of
lord,
that population,
my lord,
then it may come under 19.2.
my lord, Bageshwar
We are not concerned with the individual.
My lord.
Have you made him a party?
yes my lord,
हाँ,
yes my lord, ये पार्टी
क्या लिखा है आपने?
ये
ये क्या रजिस्टर्ड सोसाइटी है? क्या है ये? बागेश्वर धाम क्या है ये? आपने इसको पार्टी बनाया है?
my lord, it's ये एक संस्था चलती है
नंबर भी
बागेश्वर
गलत डाला
धाम
आपने, नंबर भी गलत डाले, 7 नंबर
8 है।
नंबर डाल दिया आपने। क्या है इसका स्टेटस? क्या है? कुछ तो रिसर्च करके आते हैं। आप पीआईएल करने आए हैं, स्पॉन्सर्ड पीआईएल मत लगाइए।
No, but it is not sponsored. My lord, I came before this honorable court. My lord,
Tell us what is the status of the private respondent number 7?
my lord, because they are violating the rules which was given in the article 19
Which rule?
as per PESA Act, my lord.
बताइए।
PESA Act itself, my lord.
प्रावधान का उल्लंघन हुआ, हम तो सुनने को तैयार बैठे हैं आपको।
My lord, this
आपने 4
article, my lord, an article has been written by Dilip Singh Bhuria, my lord, on the basis of the committee.
We don't know Dilip Singh Bhuria.
My lord, committee constituted.
आप आर्टिकल रिकॉर्ड पे लाए हैं क्या?
No, that is not on record, my lord. That is in my hand, my lord.
How we are supposed to read something which is not on record?
My lord,
India is a huge country. How we are supposed to take notice of everything which is not on record?
my lord, this is the my lord articles, my lord, which was committee constituted.
आप आर्टिकल रिकॉर्ड पे लाए हैं क्या?
No, that is not on record, my lord. That is in my hand, my lord.
How we are supposed to read something which is not on record?
My lord,
India is a huge country. Population is 140 billion.
my lord,
How we are supposed to take notice of everything which is not on record?
my lord, this is the my lord articles, my lord, which was.
You might have read them. We are not having benefit of reading it. We don't have the benefit of understanding it.
My lord,
how can we apply ourselves to that situation?
my lord, my submission, my lord, whatever, my lord, whatever my lord interpretation which comes from the articles or the my lord the law which was provided in the law, everything could not be filed before the court.
आर्टिकल्स की क्या लीगल सेंटिटी होती है, चलिए आइए आपको इसी पे सुनते हैं। ये पिटीशन तो बंद करते हैं, इन आर्टिकल्स की क्या लीगल सेंटिटी होती है और कितना बाइंडिंग फोर्स है, इतना बताइए। चलिए
My lord, my submission, my lord, for looking to the
मिस्टर काउंसिल, व्हाट्स योर गुड नेम?
प्रहलाद चौधरी, my lord.
चौधरी साहब, पहले इतना बता दीजिए कि इन आर्टिकल्स की क्या लीगल सेंटिटी है। आर दे व्यूज ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल्स और दे हैव सम लीगल सेंटिटी?
My lord, only the views of the individuals.
Then how they have a binding?
That is not, it is not binding, it is not binding upon the court.
Article.
It is not binding, my lord,
Your articles
but
within
as
the
a reference
of law.
my lord, as a reference it can be considered, my lord, as a reference.
तो as a चाहिए ना।
मैं सर इसको फाइल कर देता, लेकिन
नहीं फाइल करने का मेहरबानी नहीं करिए, आज तो बता दीजिए आप क्या है ये घ और च का वायलेशन नहीं होता, इतना हम लोगों ने डिसाइड कर लिया। अब आगे आप बता दीजिए, और किसी प्रावधान का वायलेशन हो रहा है तो हम सुन लेते हैं आपको।
सर ये ऑर्डर देख लें सर, P2
यस,
P2 is the order, my lord, page number 20, my lord.
पढ़िए तो क्या लिखा है।
This is the order, my lord, passed by the collector engaging the so many persons, my lord, officers in the program of my lord बागेश्वर धाम। स्पष्ट लिखा है सर, भादुकोटा, दिनांक 2 मई 2023, ग्राम भादुकोटा, विकासखंड परसवाड़ा, जिला बालाघाट में पंडित श्री धीरेन्द्र शास्त्री बागेश्वर धाम सरकार द्वारा श्रीमद् भागवत कथा का आयोजन किया जाना प्रस्तावित है। आयोजित कार्यक्रम के दौरान व्यवस्थाओं के सुचारू रूप से
व्यवस्था है। They are expecting huge number of people, therefore they are required to maintain law and order.
Yes, my lord. अब kindly see, my lord, the order which was again passed by.
आप बोले तो इस ऑर्डर को क्वेश्चन कर देते हैं, बिगड़ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के बाद भगदड़ मच जाएगी।
नहीं, वो भी देख लें सर, वो भी देख लें, वो ऑर्डर पास किया है ये, दैट इज एट पेज नंबर 37। पेज नंबर 37 में भी सीन, my lord, पेज नंबर 37, दिस इज आल्सो एन ऑर्डर, my lord,
पेज 38
37, my lord, दिस इज एन ऑर्डर पास ऑन 10/5/2023 बाय द कलेक्टर, my lord, अंतर्गत धारा 144 दंड प्रक्रिया संहिता, my lord. My lord, in the program of Bageshwar Dham, my lord, a crowd of peoples were came there, my lord, और इसमें लिखा है 144 धारा, पुलिस अधीक्षक बालाघाट से प्राप्त पत्र क्रमांक सुवेंसो दिनांक 10/5/2023 द्वारा प्रतिवेदित किया गया। जिला बालाघाट नगर घनी आबादी वाला शहर है। जिले में आदिवासी बाहुलता तथा जिले में कई हिस्से नक्सल प्रभावित होने के कारण जिला अति संवेदनशील बना रहता है तथा बालाघाट में घटित होने वाली घटनाओं का संपूर्ण प्रदेश की कानून व्यवस्था पर प्रभाव पड़ता है। समय समय पर जिले में विशिष्ट व्यक्तियों का आवागमन भी बना रहता है। जिले वासियों द्वारा सभी धार्मिक त्योहार बड़ी संख्या में धूमधाम से मनाए जाते हैं, परंतु विगत वर्षों में ऐसे प्रकरण सामने आए हैं जब छोटे छोटे विवादों पर सांप्रदायिक एवं जातिगत मतभेद एवं प्रतिरोध की स्थितियां निर्मित हुई है। उदाहरण स्वरूप पिछले वर्ष एक धार्मिक त्योहार के दौरान दो पक्षों के बीच हुए विवाद के कारण शहर में बड़ी कानून व्यवस्था की स्थिति उत्पन्न हो गई थी, जिसे नियंत्रित करने में काफी समय लगा था। उक्त घटनाक्रम में सोशल मीडिया का उपयोग भ्रम फैलाने और असामाजिक तत्वों द्वारा व्यापक स्तर पर किया गया था। मैं कहना ये चाह रहा हूँ सर,
at page 38, your lordship may kindly see the order that has been issued under section 144. What they are saying is the persons have to be careful in respect to the messages that they send on the social media. It has nothing to do with the event. That is only for maintaining the law and order in that particular.
To educate people
only
that
to
they should not take cognizance of unwanted messages.
Yes.
My lord, there is two aspects, my lord. One is, my lord, they engage so many persons for the functions of for organizing the function of the Bageshwar Dham, my lord. Apart from that, my lord, they are passing an order under section 144, my lord. Yes. In that, my lord, more than 5 persons cannot be allowed to in the same place, my lord. And apart from that, my lord, the crowd of peoples were going to be collected, my lord, at that place, my lord. Or this order has been affected, my lord, since page number 38 may be seen, my lord. यह आदेश दिनांक 10/5/2023 को मेरे हस्ताक्षर न्यायालयीन मुद्रा से जारी किया गया। उक्त आदेश जारी दिनांक से आगामी 10/8/2023 तक, मालूम, ये 10/5/2023 से 10/8/2023 तक प्रभावी रहेगा। और इसी बीच में सर ये क्राउड ऑफ पीपल्स को उनके परमिट उस फंक्शन को ऑर्गेनाइज करने के लिए इतनी व्यवस्थाएं कर रहे हैं। तो साइमल्टेनियसली में एक तरफ वो कह रहे हैं 144 की धारा कि वहां 5 से ज्यादा इकट्ठे नहीं, और वहीं दूसरी तरफ वो इकट्ठे कर रहे हैं सर वो लाखों लोगों को। दैट इज द रीजन, माय लॉर्ड। और वहां पे सर विरोध हो रहा है बहुत ज्यादा। उस विरोध के लिए लोगों ने एप्लीकेशन दी। नॉट इवन सो, माय लॉर्ड, दे आल्सो इशूड द नोटिस टू द पर्सन्स, पेज नंबर 39 में भी सीन, माय लॉर्ड, एनेक्सर P6, माय लॉर्ड। आपको उपरोक्त लेख में आपके द्वारा प्रस्तुत आवेदन दिनांक स्वयं को ग्राम भादुकोटा ग्राम में होने वाली बनवासी रामकथा के आयोजन का विरोध किया जा रहा है। उस संबंध में थाना परसवाड़ा में आप सभी लोगों की मीटिंग सुबह 11 बजे जिसकी उपस्थिति होना अनिवार्य है माय लॉर्ड। एंड दिस नोटिस हैज बीन इशूड टू द सेवरल पर्संस माय लॉर्ड। पेपर कटिंग सर मैं इसीलिए बोल रहा हूँ, इसको
बहुत
देख
सारी
ले।
बातें आएंगी, आप समझ लीजिएगा। ये मध्य प्रदेश आदिवासी विकास परिषद, इसका रजिस्ट्रेशन किस उसमें है प्राप्त?
ये मैंने P1 पेश किया सर।
P1 तो रिजोल्यूशन है, रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर नहीं पड़ा है। किस अधिनियम के अंतर्गत रजिस्टर?
ये सर पंजीयन का क्रमांक लिखा है सर 9681 ऑफ 980
जी
लेफ्ट साइड में है सर
जी
पंजीयन का क्रमांक
हाँ, ठीक
इसमें
है।
है।
इसका कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्या कहता है? Who is authorized by the परिषद to sue?
मतलब
परिषद, अरे भाई आपका जब ये है,
मैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पेश कर देता हूँ सर।
नहीं आप क्या पेश करेंगे? यस मैडम, आपको क्या कहना है बताइए।
Fact, Your Lordship, at the outset, it is a public interest litigation. They have to, the honorable courts have to ensure that the public interest litigations are in the interest of the public, and they are not motivated or oblique petitions or petitions which have been filed only to with a political motive. Your Lordship, for that, I am relying on the judgment rendered in the case of State of Uttaranchal versus Balwant Singh Chaufal. Paragraph 181.
Citation
The citation is 2010, volume 3 SCC, page 402.
40
402.
402
402.
पैरा 10
Para 181.
पैरा 181 पढ़िए प्लीज।
We have carefully considered the facts of the present case. We have also examined the law declared by this court and other courts in a number of judgments. In order to preserve the purity and sanctity of the PIL, it has become imperative to issue the following directions. The court must encourage genuine and bona fide PIL and effectively discourage and curb the PIL filed for extraneous considerations. Instead of every individual judge devising his own procedure for dealing with the public interest litigation, it would be appropriate for each High Court to properly formulate rules for encouraging genuine PIL and discouraging the PIL filed with oblique motives. The third is, Your Lordship, the courts should prima facie verify the credentials of the petitioner before entertaining a PIL. The court should be prima facie satisfied regarding the correctness of the contents of the petition before entertaining a PIL. The court should ensure that the petition which involves larger public interest, gravity, and urgency must be given priority over other petitions. The courts, before entertaining the PIL, should ensure that the PIL is aimed at redressal of genuine public harm or public injury. The court should also ensure that there is no personal gain, private motive, or oblique motive behind filing the public interest litigation. The courts should also ensure that the petitions filed by busybodies for extraneous and ulterior motives must be discouraged by imposing exemplary costs or by adopting similar novel methods to curb frivolous petitions and the petitions filed for extraneous considerations. Now, there are two grounds that, Your Lordship, in the instant petition that he has raised. One is that the proper permission has not been obtained. Now, he has not pointed on from the records or from any law or any provision that the permissions have not been given by the what provision of law requires the Gram Sabha or any other body to grant permission for conducting of such events. Whatever the administrative permissions are required from the office of the collector, all these have already been granted by the concerned authorities or by the police authorities. Secondly, is challenging the order dated 2/5/23. Your Lordship is aware that these are very massive gatherings at such events take place. These and to ensure the law and order situation. Now, these orders are passed and the officers are posted there only to take care of the law and order situation. There is no interest involved or private interest involved of the administration. It is only to foresee that the entire event takes place without any untoward incident. And that is the only purpose of issuing such orders. In fact, this order has also been modified. So the purpose of the challenge to the petition that has also the challenge to this order that has also been rendered infructuous. He's relying on articles and newspaper cuttings, which may not be
in case of
admissible.
Dharam, my lord, Justice Lahoti, my lord, specifically stated in para 35, page number, my lord, 1309, my lord.
Yes.
In the, my lord, 109, my lord, articles 19 and its restrictions was given, my lord. Kindly come to, my lord, D.
D?
D and E, right to move freely and or to reside and settle throughout the territory of India.
हाँ,
For that हम restriction, मतलब page number 1309.
1309, yes.
Yes. D part, मतलब D part, मतलब the restrictions is मतलब the general public, the protection of the interest of scheduled tribe.
Yes.
Now, मतलब kindly come to page number 1318, मतलब. Last, my lord, in the bottom part, 637. One, in order that rule of law train social order, the respective sovereign functions need free play in their joints so that the march of social progress and other remains unimpeded. The smooth balance built with delicacy must always be maintained. Now, my lord, come to page 66, my lord, para 66.
Yes.
In the case of Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Shri Raj Narayan, my lord, his lordship then was cited with approval the opinion of Harold Askey that the separation of power does not mean the equal balance of power, and observe that what cannot be sustained in the exercise by the legislature of what is purely and undoubtedly a judicial function. In our cooperative federalism, there is no rigid distributions of power. What is provided in a system of salutary checks and balance. My lord, can you come to page 68, my lord?
Yes.
The position in the present case is of course a little different. We are not here dealing with the validity of validating enactment. In the judgment dated September so and so, the High Court bench presided over by the learned single judge, unfortunately unmindful of the correct width and expenses of the rights conferred by subclause A and C of clause 1 of Article 19 of the Constitution, did not correctly comprehended the scope of Article 19 of the Constitution and overlooked the fine distinctions in the breach of right complained of by the citizens. My lord, kindly come to page number 46, my lord. Because, my lord, my learned friend argued
46 of the petition.
46 in my petition, my lord. Because my learned friend argued that, my lord, कि ये किसी पर्टिकुलर व्यक्ति का वो नहीं है. अब ना इसमें लिखा हुआ सर, जिले में परसवाड़ा के 23 मार्च को आ रहे चर्चित पहले स्टार्टिंग है सर 46. युवा संत धीरेन्द्र शास्त्री बागेश्वर धाम इन दिनों जिले में खास चर्चा में है, परंतु अन्य जिलों की अपेक्षा बालाघाट में उनकी अलग तरह की चर्चा हो रही है. इसमें कोई दो मत नहीं है कि इसी वर्ष होने वाले विधानसभा चुनाव के मद्देनजर पूरे प्रदेश में धीरेन्द्र शास्त्री को बुलाने की खासकर भाजपा में होड़ सी लगी है, और ये सभी वाकिफ हैं कि धीरेन्द्र शास्त्री को प्रवचन के लिए बुलाना कोई आम लोगों के बस की बात नहीं है. धीरेन्द्र शास्त्री के बोलों की कीमत करोड़ों में बताई जाती है. दरअसल भारतीय जनता पार्टी में इन दिनों अपने दो दमदार और असरदार बताने की होड़ लगी है. जो धीरेन्द्र शास्त्री को बुलाने में सफल होते हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं पार्टी के भीतर की ताकतवर होने का एहसास देने का प्रयास करते हैं. प्रदेश से हटकर बालाघाट जिले की सांस्कृतिक
आप तो मुद्दे की बात पर आइए. इस आर्टिकल में वो 4 लाइनें पढ़ के बताइए जहां उन्होंने कहा है कि ट्राइबल्स के इंटरेस्ट एडवर्सली अफेक्ट होंगे. ये सब नेतागिरी का मत पढ़िए. वी आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, वी आर नॉट पॉलिटिकल पर्संस.
इनका बेसिक आर्गुमेंट रहा है कि इट इज नॉट द
आपकी पिटीशन ये है
जी
कि किसी व्यक्ति विशेष के आने से वहां पर ट्राइबल्स के राइट एडवर्सली अफेक्ट होंगे और ग्राम पंचायत की अनुमति के बगैर कोई भी व्यक्ति वहां नहीं आ सकता. दिस इज योर फाउंडेशन ऑफ योर केस. प्लीज शो अस.
माय लॉर्ड, article
our view is that we will not rely on any of
मतलब may I permit to read this, my lord?
What is that?
मतलब this is the, my lord,
are we supposed to understand law on the basis
no.
Are we supposed to understand law on the basis of some commentary, or we are supposed to understand law on the basis of the provisions contained in
my lord, the motto
you have already given
my lord, the motto of this act, my lord, that has been written by the person who is the chairperson of the committee, my lord. Only the motto what the purpose
aims and objects are written by the legislature, which decides to frame a law, which wants to bring a law, because it is the prerogative of the legislature to enact a law.
My lord,
so what are the aims?
My lord, the judgment of Indira Gandhi, my lord, as well as the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, my lord,
Indira Gandhi versus Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru.
नहीं, दो judgment है sir. The judgment of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and the other judgment is the Indira Gandhi.
बताइए पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू का
वो सर मुझको 10 मिनट का टाइम दे देते, मैं लाके दे देता हूँ
ऐसा थोड़ा
अभी।
होता वकील साहब, ये सब आपकी बहस, आपका पक्षकार
सर
देख रहा है,
टा-
आपका पक्षकार देख रहा है आपकी बहस।
सर टाइम टाइम बहुत शॉर्ट हो गया था सर, क्योंकि कल ही कल पिटीशन लगाई है और कल ही कल में सब कुछ करना
जल्दी
था।
क्या थी उसको कल ही कल
जल्दी इसीलिए सर क्योंकि 23 और 24 को फंक्शन है। 23 और 24 परसों
अभी तो सोमवार को 22 तारीख भी है, 22 को भी सुनवा सकते थे आप।
सर एक एक दिन में पूरी मशीनरी पूरी गड़बड़ा जाएगी, क्योंकि वो पूरा फंक्शन जो है बाहर बाहर से लोग आते हैं, सारे क्राउड इकट्ठे हो जाएंगे। 144 धारा जो लगाई है उसका कोई यूज नहीं होगा।
44 धारा हटवाना चाहते हैं।
सर मेरा 144 हटाने का उद्देश्य नहीं है, मेरा उद्देश्य ये है कि सर कि जो वहां पे जो रिलीजियस लोग रहते हैं उनकी धार्मिक भावनाओं को सर दिक्कत होगी, क्योंकि ये सारी सारी बातें सर, इसमें हिंदुत्व के बारे में सबसे ज्यादा वहां पे बोला जाता है, और जो सबसे ज्यादा आहत होगा ये वर्ग, और इस वर्ग के लिए
आहत होगा, लिख लेते हैं ये भी आर्गुमेंट, लिखिएगा। श्री प्रहलाद चौधरी लर्नेड काउंसिल फॉर द पिटीशनर, श्रीमती जानवी पंडित लर्नेड एडिशनल।
मैंने सर एक सीडी इसमें पेन ड्राइव लगाई है, और इस पेन ड्राइव में वो सारी बातें हैं जो वहाँ पे घटित हो रही घटना, उस घटना से विरोध कितना हो रहा है इस फंक्शंस के लिए, वो मैंने एक वीडियो से दी। और मंत्री जी का इसमें भाषण
65B का
लगा है, लगा है।
हाँ 65B का
ये लगा है।
पेज नंबर,
पेज नंबर 47।
क्या है ये? शुभम उइके जिन्होंने सर्टिफिकेट
जी जी।
पढ़िएगा जरा।
मैं प्रमाण पत्र जारी करता शुभम उइके पिता श्री सुवेंसु निवासी प्रमाणित करता हूं कि मेरे द्वारा पब्लिक मंच जिसमें रामकिशोर कावरे मंत्री जी द्वारा बनवासी रामकथा के प्रवचन बागेश्वर धाम द्वारा कराए जाने की अनुमति के संबंध में दी गई भाषण तथा आदिवासी द्वारा विरोध प्रदर्शन की रिकॉर्डिंग एवं पेपर कटिंग की फोटो अपने मोबाइल 1+ जिसका मोबाइल नंबर सोनसे में किया जाकर OTG लीड्स के जरिए पेन ड्राइव में लोड कर 4 प्रतियां निर्मित की गई हैं, जो 32 GB की है, जिसका विवरण निम्नानुसार है। पेन ड्राइव के OTG फोल्डर के अंदर डॉक्यूमेंट है जिसमें 2 वीडियो और 18 फोटो चित्र हैं। उपरोक्त कथित विवरणी मेरे द्वारा दिनांक 16/5/2023 को अपने मोबाइल 1+ के लीड के जरिए बिना छेड़खानी के जैसी की तैसी पेन ड्राइव में अपलोड की गई है, जिसे जिसमें कोई रद्दोबल किए गए रिकॉर्ड की है। कथित मोबाइल का मैं मालिक हूं तथा मेरे वैध संरक्षण में सुरक्षित है, जिसे कुछ भी काट-छांट नहीं की गई है और ना ही कुछ जोड़ा गया है। अतएव यह प्रमाण पत्र माननीय उच्च न्यायालय के समक्ष प्रस्तुत पेन ड्राइव की सत्यता के संबंध में जारी किया गया है। वहां पे सर जो विरोध हो रहा है उस पूरा विरोध का दिया है। अब सर इतना इतना ज्यादा विरोध के बाद भी वो फंक्शन वहां पे होगा, तो एक तो सर क्लैश कर रहा है। 144 धारा भी उन्होंने लगा कि जहाँ पे 4-5 से लोग ज्यादा इकट्ठे नहीं हो सकते, वहीं पे पूरा क्राउड को इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं, और दूसरी तरफ सर वो ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं पूरे उस फंक्शन को कराने के लिए। तो मेरा निवेदन सर ये है कि भाजपा के प्रोग्राम के लिए गवर्नमेंट मशीनरी नहीं लगेगी सर, उसमें गवर्नमेंट मशीनरी को लेने के लिए भी ग्राम सभा।
एलिगेशन कहाँ लगाया कि ये पार्टी का प्रोग्राम है, बताइए ना। पढ़िए तो आपका
जी
आर्गुमेंट
जी
बदल
जी
रहा है धीरे धीरे,
जी जी।
आपके सुर और आर्गुमेंट दोनों बदल रहे हैं।
नहीं नहीं सर लिखा है,
बताइएगा।
ये सर पेज 11
पेज 11
3.7
हाँ।
that the private respondent Ramkishore Kavre MLA openly stated in the public that till the 2009 Sasi for promoting the Hinduism simultaneously behind back obtained the order of collector and misrepresenting the tribals of that area. The copy of video stored.
बीजेपी कहाँ लिखा है आपने कि बीजेपी का फंक्शन है? बताइए। तो आप जो बहस कर रहे हैं वकील साहब, हवा में बहस मत करिए।
सर पेपर कटिंग में जो लिखा हुआ है वो पेपर कटिंग का मैंने आपको बताया कि उसमें।
अब ऑर्डर सुनिएगा
जी
बैठ जाइए, ऑर्डर सुनिएगा। फिर प्रहलाद चौधरी आगे सुनना, लिखिएगा। This petition is filed in the style of public interest litigation by one Madhya Pradesh Adivasi Vikas Parishad through its president Dinesh Kumar Dhurve. Petitioner has enclosed copy of resolution signed by Dinesh Kumar Dhurve himself, authorizing himself to file this writ petition. Full stop. From the letterhead used to bring resolution on record as contained in annexure P1, it is evident that there are 3 functionaries. One is the president, another is office president, and third one is district president. Full stop. This resolution is signed by 4 persons. Next pair, including the president. Petitioner, next pair. Petitioner's grievance is that respondents be directed to not to organize the function to be held on 23rd and 24th May 2023 for promoting the Hinduism at the tribal area which affects the tribal mythology. Full stop. It is also prayed that with a view to protect religious harmony of the tribals as protected under section 4 within bracket D of
PESA, एक मिनट,
PESA
PESA,
एक्ट 1996 ब्रैकेट में लिखिएगा पंचायत उपबंध विद इन ब्रैकेट अनुसूचित क्षेत्रों पर विस्तार ब्रैकेट क्लोज अधिनियम 1996 and article 19 within bracket 5 and schedule 5 of the constitution. Full stop. Prayer is also made to set aside the order dated 2/5/23 annexure P2 passed by the collector deputing various district functionaries in connection with the said organization of program. Full stop. Petitioner has also alleging full stop, alleging that there is misuse of the governmental machinery. It is also submitted that legal action be taken against the authority who passed the order against the constitutional mandate and any other relief be granted in favor of the petitioner. Next paragraph. Learned counsel for the petitioner submits that on the basis of some Dilip Singh Buria report, he is of the opinion that petitioner is of the opinion that there is going to be a serious law and order problem if respondent number 7 Bageshwar Dham through Dhirendra Shastri Kathawachak is allowed to perform his Katha Vachan in district of Balaghat on 23 and 24/5/2023. Full stop. Next part. It is submitted that may have the effect of offending the religious sentiments of the tribal population, which is the majority population of district Balaghat, in as much as it is a predominantly a tribal district. Full stop. It is further submitted that ruling party is trying to misuse the goodwill of respondent number 7 Bageshwar Dham, bracket में लिख लीजिएगा, wrongly mentioned as respondent number 3.
My lord, it's a declared tribal area, my lord. That is, I had filed.
हाँ ठीक है, उसको कौन dispute कर रहा है? Who is a Hindu saint and that will disturb peace and harmony in a declared tribal area. Full stop. Petitioner's contention is that there are newspaper reports of this effect that private respondent number 6 is trying to influence the local population through propagation of Hinduism. Full stop. It is also submitted that collector Balaghat on the one hand is facilitating the arrangement of programs and on the other hand has issued orders on 10/5/23 as contained in annexure P5 under section 144 CRPC 1973. Next paragraph. Thus, it is submitted that interests of the tribal population is at stake and therefore the impugned action of the authorities be set aside and organization of such Katha Vachan be stopped. Next paragraph. Reliance is placed on the Judgement and others versus Union of India and others AIR 2004 SC 1295. Full stop. Reading from para 35 of the said judgment, it is pointed out that table extracted after para 35 reveals that what are the nature of right and what are the permissible restrictions under clause 2 to 6 of article 19. Full stop. Reading from clause 1, one bracket में है, another bracket small d and another bracket small e. It is pointed out that though gives right to move freely and obligor to reside and settle throughout the territory of India, but permissible restrictions are that the general public and the protection of the interests of scheduled tribe. Full stop. Thereafter, referring to
Para 68 my lord.
yes, I am coming to that. नहीं उसके पहले भी para 64. It is pointed out that a two-judge bench of Honorable Supreme Court in Indian Aluminium Company and others versus State of Kerala and others within bracket 1996 bracket close 7 SCC 637 had made an exhaustive review of the available judicial opinion and summed up the essence thereof in 9 points, 3 of which are relevant for our purpose, which we set out as under in colon dash within bracket 1. In order that rule of law permeates to fulfill constitutional objectives of establishing an egalitarian social order, the respective sovereign functionaries need free play in their joints so that the march of social progress and order remains unimpeded. The smooth balance built with delicacy must always be maintained. Next paragraph. Similarly, placing reliance on the judgment in Srimati Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Shri Raj Narayan and another AIR 1975 SC 2299, it is pointed out that Chandrachud J. Comma, as his lordship then was, comma, cited with approval the opinion of Harold Lasky that the within inverted commas separation of powers does not mean the equal balance of powers inverted commas close, and observed that within double inverted commas what cannot be sustained is the exercise by the legislature of what is purely and indubitably a judicial function. Full stop. In our cooperative federalism, there is no rigid distribution of powers. What is provided is a system of salutary checks and balances. Full stop, inverted commas, close. Next. Reading from para 68, it is pointed out that Honorable Supreme Court observed that in the judgment dated September 10, 1990, C.W.P.No.9120 of 1999, the High Court within bracket bench presided over by the learned single judge within bracket close, unfortunately, unmindful of and expanse of the rights conferred by subclauses within bracket A and another bracket C of clause within bracket 1 bracket close of article 19 of the Constitution, did not correctly comprehend the scope of article 19 within bracket 1 of the Constitution, and overlooked the fine distinction in breach of rights complained of by a citizen or citizens dash collectively, but as citizens, comma, and the right to certain activities claimed by an association, full stop. The High Court just confined itself to finding whether the impugned ordinance could be saved by clause within bracket 2 bracket close and within bracket 4 bracket close of Article 19, and if not, comma, then it was unconstitutional, comma, also because it was too drastic and hence unreasonable. Next para. Placing reliance on this judgment, it is submitted that organization of a congregation of discourse by private respondent number 7 may have adverse impact on the social fabric of the tribal community and therefore indulgence be shown. Next para. Srimati Janvi Pandit, learned additional advocate general, submits that there is no public interest in the petition. It is politically motivated. Full stop. Placing reliance on the judgment of Supreme Court in state of Uttaranchal versus Balwant Singh Chaupal, CHAUFAL, Chaufal, 2010 का 3 SCC 402 and reading para 181, it is pointed out that courts must encourage only genuine and bona fide PIL and not and effectively discourage and curb the PIL filed for extraneous considerations. Full stop. It is submitted that present PIL is loath with extraneous considerations and political motives. Next para. It is also pointed out that it is not mentioned by learned counsel in his petition that under which provision of law permission was required to be taken by the respondent number 7 from the concerned Gram Panchayat in terms of the provisions contained in PESA Act. Full stop. It is also submitted that as far as Annexure P2 is concerned, comma, that is with a view to maintain law and order because district administration is expecting a huge gathering of persons looking to the past history of respondent number 7, and it is their duty to oversee that no issues in regard to law and order are created causing inconvenience to the common man. Next para. It is also submitted that another order passed by the district magistrate under section 144 CRPC is only to the effect and to educate the public at large that they should keep themselves insulated from exchange of objectionable messages, etc. on public media as that has the potential of disturbing public peace, comma, law and order. Full stop. Thus, placing reliance on the aforesaid judgment in case of state of Uttaranchal, it is submitted that there is no public interest and petition be dismissed. Next paragraph.
If I may also
After
point,
hearing,
for a moment, Your Lordship, I'm sorry to interrupt. If I may also point out, this order dated 2nd May 2023 has subsequently been modified. That is, they have not challenged. As per my instructions.
when was it modified?
It was modified, Your Lordship, on that order, but on 5th of May. Maybe it is a,
Where, have you bought it on record?
it is not on record,
Do
but
you have-
I have a copy. I have a copy.
Srimati Janvi Pandit further submits that order dated 2/5/23 was subsequently modified by the district collector and district magistrate on 5th May 2023 and said order has not been challenged by the petitioner. Next paragraph. As far as the last submission is concerned, comma, it appears to be an order of reshuffling the officials.
नहीं सर, ये बस हमको तो कुछ पर इसका P2 सब सही था। P2 में है अधिकारियों से रीति बदल शुरू करनी है सर।
That does not need that does not require much indulgence in as much as 2523 and 5523 are administrative orders passed by the district magistrate who has a duty to maintain law and order within his district. Full stop. It only the order dated 5th May 23 only makes arrangements in a different format, deploying a different set of people, and that being an administrative exercise that does not call for and cannot be interfered in the discretion in the exercise of judicial discretion of this court, as that those orders are specifically within the domain of administrative discretion vested in administrative discretion and administrative authority vested in the district collector and district magistrate Balaghat. Next paragraph. Petitioner's preliminary argument is that in terms of provisions contained in section 4 within bracket D of PESA Act 1996 and 4 within bracket F of the said act, इकट्ठा कर लेना, act without taking concurrence of the Gram Sabha, no function could have been organized. Next paragraph. A plain reading of provisions contained in section 4D and 4F, which reads as under. ये मैं आपको ये ले लीजिएगा, इसको कोट कर लीजिएगा हिंदी में, 4 घ और 4 चार, ठीक, makes it abundantly clear that section 4D of the Act of 1996 provides that every Gram Sabha shall be competent to preserve and
If I may,
save the traditions, comma, modes, comma, cultural identity, comma, resources of the community, and for disposal of disputes in a conservative society by conserving and preserving their traditional methods. Full stop. Similarly, section 4 within bracket F provides that it is expected of every panchayat at village level that it shall oversee the implementation of the prescribed schemes, comma, programs and projects meant for the said panchayat by using by making optimal utilization of the amounts so sanctioned and obtain their certification. Full stop. Thus, a combined reading or a separate reading of provisions contained in section 4 within bracket small d and 4 within bracket small f does not bring home that there is any provision for taking permission for the Gram Panchayat to organize any religious or public function. Full stop. Thus, first limb of argument put forth by learned counsel for the petitioner that without permission of the Gram Sabha, no program could have been organized is not made out. Full stop. We have given a careful reading to Schedule 5 of the Constitution of India, which according to the petitioner will be applicable to the facts and circumstances of the present case in as much as Balaghat is a notified tribal district. Full stop. There is no provision under Schedule 5, sorry, fifth schedule to the Constitution, which provides for provisions as to the administration and control of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. Full stop. It nowhere provides that before taking any before undertaking any public function, concurrence of the Gram Sabha or Gram Panchayat is necessary.
मैलॉर्ड may I submit?
Full stop.
ये
बीच
एक
में interrupt
नहीं, एक पार्ट है सर, वो इसीलिए आपको बताना
हाँ,
जरूरी
बताइए।
है। ये उसी का जो 4 के आगे दिया हुआ है।
हाँ।
अनुसूचित क्षेत्रों में पंचायतों को ऐसी शक्तियां और प्राधिकार प्रदान करते समय जो उन्होंने ये उसी के सर पेज 2 पैसा एक्ट के
पैसा एक्ट का
पेज 2 डा
डा
डा डा
डा कहाँ है? डा हाँ पढ़िए।
चौथे नंबर पे सर, 5वें नंबर पे सर। अनुसूचित क्षेत्रों में पंचायतों को ऐसी शक्तियां और प्राधिकार प्रदान करते समय जो उन्हें स्वायत्त शासन की संस्थाओं के रूप में कार्य करने में समर्थ बनाने के लिए आवश्यक हो, राज्य विधानमंडल यह सुनिश्चित करेगा कि पंचायतों और ग्राम सभा को उपयुक्त स्तर पर
पहले बताना चाहिए था वकील साहब, लिखवा देते हैं। चलिए, और कुछ बताना है तो
और-
इस बार में बता
और-
दीजिए।
और उसी का सर 6
हाँ, पढ़िए।
सभी सामाजिक सेक्टरों से में संस्थानों और कृत्य कार्यों पर नियंत्रण रखने की शक्ति प्रदान की जाए।
ठीक है, चलिए। ऊपर जहाँ पर अपन ने 4 डी और एफ लिखा है ना, वहीं उसको और जोड़ लीजिएगा, बता देते हैं। एफ के बाद में डी एच आई
So,
के
M, Your Lordship, I'm handing over a copy of the English version of the.
वर्जन दे दीजिए। मैंने जो ट्रांसलेट करके लिखा है ना, वो भी इंग्लिश वर्जन से सही लिख लीजिएगा। मैंने रफ ट्रांसलेशन कर दिया।
No, it was absolutely correct, Your Lordship, all the entire translation.
ये 4M भी लिख लीजिएगा, वहीं जोड़िएगा साथ में। इनका नाम डाल के some places also places reliance on clause M of section 4 of PESA Act, which reads as under. It is submitted that the spirit of the Act of 1996 is that while endowing panchayats in the scheduled areas with such powers and authority as may be necessary to enable them to function as institutions of self-government, a state legislature shall ensure that the panchayats at the appropriate level and the Gram Sabha are endowed specifically with dash lगा के within bracket Roman 6 the power to exercise control over institutions and functionaries in all social sectors. ठीक है, तो इसका भी उत्तर लिख लीजिएगा। Even this argument appears to be half-baked. Full stop. The true meaning and import of clause M of section 4 is that panchayats in the scheduled area will be given sufficient autonomy to function as an institution of self-government, for which purpose autonomy will be given by the state legislature, which will ensure that panchayat at the appropriate level and the Gram Sabha are empowered with 7 functions which are mentioned below clause M of section 4, full stop. Since Shri Prahlad Chaudhary has placed reliance on clause 6 Roman है bracket में, it is evident that it bestows Gram Sabha to exercise control over institutions and functionaries in all social sectors which are within the domain of the Gram Panchayat and not those functions which are beyond the Gram Panchayat. Full stop. As far as understanding of law goes, Gram Panchayat is not bestowed with the authority to maintain law and order in the district or within the Gram Panchayat. Law and order still continues to be the exclusive domain of the district administration under the 3-tier system of public administration. Therefore, when it is taken, it is seen from when the whole scenario is viewed from this perspective, then submission made by Shri Prahlad Chaudhary that any function which is required to be organized within the boundaries of a Gram Sabha, require concurrence of a Gram Sabha, is not made out because Shri Prahlad Chaudhary has not brought any material on record that to organize a public or religious function, concurrence of Gram Panchayat is necessary. Full stop. Gram Panchayat of the Gram Sabha is necessary. Therefore, even this argument is not germane to the present controversy. Next para. As far as annexure P5 is concerned, it is an order passed by the district magistrate in exercise of his authority under section 144 of Code of Criminal Procedure. Full stop. Section 144 Criminal Procedure Code deals with power to issue order in urgent cases of nuisance or apprehended danger. Full stop. It is evident from the order dated 10/5/2023 that based on past experiences in regard to law and order situation and foreseeing the apprehended danger, said order dated 10/5/23 has been passed. It is preventive in nature, and that the order being preventive in nature does not provide any lever in the hands of the petitioner to twist it in such a manner to make this court hold that provisions contained in Article 19 dealing with religious and personal freedom can be controlled through exercise of said lever. Full stop. Therefore, that submission that annexure P5 is contrary to annexure P2 is also not made out. There are two distinct functions of the district magistrate. One is to prevent any uneventful happening. Second is to facilitate law and order by deputing appropriate functionaries, district functionaries, so to prevent any law and order situation. And therefore, both these orders, annexure P2 and P5, in fact, actually supplement each other rather than being contradictory as submitted by Shri Prahlad Chaudhary. Therefore, this ground too is not made out. Next paragraph. As far as issue of political leverage and other aspects are concerned, when they are examined in the light of the judgment of Supreme Court. Light of the judgment of Supreme Court in Dharamdat and others supra, it is evident that Honorable Supreme Court in para 35 of the judgment of Dharamdat has demonstrated that the framers of the Constitution could have made a common draft of restrictions which were permissible to be imposed on the operation of the fundamental rights listed in clause within bracket 1, full stop. But that has not been done, full stop. The common thread that runs throughout sub-clauses 2 to 6 is that the operation of any existing law or the enactment by the state of any law which imposes reasonable restrictions to achieve certain objects, comma, is saved, colon, semicolon, sorry. However, comma, the quality and content of such law would be different by reference to each of the sub-clauses within bracket A to within bracket small g of clause within bracket 1 of Article 19. Full stop. Next paragraph. Article 19 deals with protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech, etc. Full stop. Clause A deals with freedom of speech and expression. Semicolon. Clause B deals with right to assemble peaceably and without arms. Semicolon. Clause D deals with right to move freely throughout the territory of India. Semicolon. And clause G deals with right to practice any profession comma, or to carry on any occupation, comma, trade or business, full stop. It is not pointed out that if for respondent number 7, preaching is a profession or occupation, then how that is in conflict with the interests of the petitioners, especially the tribal population of district Balaghat. Full stop. Once that is not brought out on record, then freedom of speech and expression of the respondent number 7 or right of the public of the Gram Sabha or the district of Balaghat or neighboring districts to assemble peaceably and without arms cannot be curbed merely on the basis of certain apprehensions of there being a political motive in the hands of the private respondent number 6, full stop. Such motives cannot, next para, such motives cannot form backdrop of the public interest litigation. There is no material on record that